First of all, Rob, why is Memorial being targeted?
Well, Memorial is a pillar of civil society in Russia. It's almost synonymous with the efforts that have been made since the breakup of the Soviet Union to remember the past, to look closely at what happened under the Soviet Union during the Stalinist period in particular, and never forget that, and remember the victims. But also today, it is a pillar of the efforts of civil society to defend victims of political oppression, to defend minorities of various different kinds, to defend migrants, and as such has come into the sights of the Russian authorities. This has been a particularly bad year for NGOs, for civil rights organizations, for political parties in opposition to Vladimir Putin. There has been a brutal crackdown. And one of the means by which the state has set out to do this is the so-called Foreign Agents Law, which was first introduced in 2012, which has been modified almost every year since to make it even tougher, which means that any organization which gets any of its funding, and Memorial fits under this, from abroad, has to label itself as a foreign agent. Now, that word has that combination of words has an extremely negative connotation in Russia because it's associated with the 1930s and its use in particular by Stalin and those around him to label people they accused of treachery and espionage. So the connotation around the use of this word for organizations like Memorial is one of treachery and espionage. It's accused of not using that label.
So prosecutors are saying that Memorial violated this foreign agents law, but what exactly is the case they're trying to make?
Well, it almost doesn't really matter what the case is that they're trying to make. The case is simple enough. It is that there is this law, the Foreign Agents Law. Memorial, because it gets part of its funding from overseas, has to state in all of its publications, whether it's in print or on air or online or whatever, it has to state foreign agent and explain that its sourcing, that its financial sourcing comes from abroad. The state is saying that Memorial, in certain cases, failed to do that. Memorial is contesting that, it has to be said. It says that it has gone out of its way to comply, and if there are cases where it didn't happen, they're very few and hardly worth considering. What their lawyers are saying is that this is a concerted attempt by the state to shut down a pillar of civil society using whatever tactics it considers possible. And it's prepared to do that on a simple technicality, knowing that it is just a technicality and that Memorial has been making every effort to comply with the law on foreign agents. Regardless of what that will mean for the development of human rights in Russia and for civil society. Over 100,000 people have signed a petition against this. Mikhail Gorbachev, former president of the last leader of the Soviet Union, Dmitry Muratov, who received the Nobel Peace Prize just a few days ago in Oslo, and is also the director of Novaya Gazeta, the last really strong remaining opposition newspaper in Russia. The two of them, both Nobel Peace Prize winners, have appealed against a negative decision against Memorial, but nobody's holding their breath.
Is it a foregone conclusion that the court will decide to dissolve Memorial?
It almost looks like it's a foregone conclusion. It would be stunning if a decision went the other way.
Okay, our chief foreign editor, Rob Parsons. Rob, thanks a lot.